let's move ahead to some college basketball. Just a little short slate. We're going to cover 3 games in the NCAA. Let's go ahead and begin with Notre Dame at Florida State. 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off at Florida State. The Seminoles open the betting as the 13.5-point favorite, total at 139. And since those markets opened that one up, we're seeing a steady and consistent fade of FSU when it comes to the spread. We're also seeing movement upward on the total as well. That line moved up to 140, but the spread moving down to 12.5. So once again, the Seminoles open 13.5 down to minus 12.5. Total open 139 up to 140. 58% of the consensus is leaning toward the Seminoles. 66% of the consensus is shaded toward the under. Now, if you like the Noles at home covering the double digits, just keep in mind they're taking on a Notre Dame team who covers 63% of their games as the official road underdog. They also rank 15th in the country in free throw percentage. They're shooting 76.2% from the stripe. Notre Dame's led by TJ Gibbs, who's dropping 13 points per contest. They're also led by John Mooney, who's bringing down 9 rebounds per game under the boards. Now, Florida State is covering just 40% of their games, taking on teams under 500. They're also just 5-7 against the number as the official home favorite. Florida State ranks 150th in the country in home field goal percentage. They're shooting just 45% in that category there. They also rank 106th in home offensive rebounding. Now, total-wise, Florida State is 2-1 to the under in their last 3. Notre Dame 4-1 to the under in their last 5. I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it up, and take Notre Dame plus 13 and the under 140 in that matchup there. Next game, Oklahoma at Iowa State. 8 o'clock tip-off at Iowa State. The Cyclones open 9.5, total open 142 and a hook. And since that one opened up, we're seeing a half a point move downward on the spread. We're seeing a half a point move upward on the total. That total moved up to 143. Line moved to -9. Once again, Iowa State opened 9.5 down to -9. Total open 142.5 up to 143. 51% are leaning toward Oklahoma. 67% shaded toward the over. Right now, Oklahoma is 2-1 against the number in their last 3. They're covering 60% of their games in their last 10. The Sooners are led by Christian Jones, who's dropping 12 points per contest. They're also led by Brady Manick, who is dropping 10 points per contest on the offensive side of things as well. OU is 13-2 against the spread on the road, 8-2 ATS as the dog, and 7-0 against the spread, taking on teams allowing 67 to 72 points per contest. Now, Iowa State on their side of things, they're covering just 33% of their games, taking on teams between 500 and 650. They've also failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6 ball games. The Cyclones rank 159th in the country in home offensive rebounding. They also rank 140th in home defensive rebounding. Now, total-wise, Iowa State's just 6-10 to the over at home. Meanwhile, Oklahoma 3-1 to the under in their last 4. Give me OU, the Sooners, plus 9, and the under 143 in that matchup there. All right, next and final game for the show, it is going to be Kansas State at Kansas. 9 o'clock tip-off at Kansas. The Jayhawks open -4, total open 132.5. And since that one opened up, we're seeing a half a point move on the spread. We're also seeing a half a point move on the total. Total moved up, spread moved down. Kansas is now -3.5, total moved up to 133. So once again, the Kansas Jayhawks open -4, down to -3.5, total open 132.5, up to 133. 56% are leaning Kansas, 67% shaded toward the over. Now, the Jayhawks are 3-1 against the spread in their last 4. They rank 36th in college basketball in defensive field goal percentage. They're led by Dedrick Lawson, who's dropping 18.4 points per contest. He's also averaging 10 rebounds a game. Kansas is also led by Devin Dodson, who's dropping 14 points per contest on the offensive side of things as well. Now, Kansas State ranks 240th in scoring on the road. They're averaging just 64 points per contest when traveling. They're also ranking 207th in offensive rebounding in the country as well. When it comes to the total, Kansas State is 6-1 to the over in their last 7. Kansas, 5-1 to the over in their last 6. Give me the Jayhawks, -3. After buying the half a point. And the over, 133 in that matchup there.